All right. So what I want to move into now is the money, is the financial part to all of this. Really quick mindset training. There's a lot of team. I don't know how many team are on right now, Dr. Matt, but I'm assuming a bunch of team members. So for you team members, a lot of the money, and this is even for the doctors on, who are training and supporting their team. Candidly, the best my office has ever done economically, any of my clinics, has been when there's been a team member or members who are really comfortable with money. And so, because, obviously as the doctor, you've got to own the value of subluxation more than anybody, and why, because of that value, there's a care plan of multiple thousands of dollars. So the doctor certainly has to be there or this whole thing falls apart. But when this gets super effective and simple and reproducible is when you've got the team gets it. So I want to give a couple of tips for team, and then Dr. Matt would love to hear your thoughts on it too. And I'm going to start with something I stumbled on accidentally. So I hired this one front desk manager, and she had been in retail. So she sold in her retail establishment she worked in a lot of high-end clothing. So somebody walked up, and a woman would walk up and lay that leather jacket down on the desk at the cash register, and it would be $8,000-$9,000 down to maybe dresses that were $3,000 to $5,000. And there was even higher end stuff, and then you had shoes that were $2,000 and boots that were $3,000. So all day long, $2,000, $3,000, $9,000, $13,000. This is what she's selling. And so then she was into health, so she wanted to get at that, and she came to work for me. And then the very first person that went, and I was doing what I would say, looking back, I was doing a mediocre job at best at working with my team on money. And so this person walks up, and they're supposed to re-sign. So they've got this re-sign plan. It's like $1,850, and the person says, "Okay, I'll just get my adjustment today, and then next time, I'll pay you." And she's like, because her, it's like, "I'll just take the $9,000 jacket today, and when I see you again, I'll pay for it." Like, so that to her, that's what this person said. I've got an $1,850 product. I'm going to walk out the door with it for free, and I will let you know when I come back how I'm going to pay for it. So to her, it was insane. Like, she didn't even it was interesting to sort of hear the interaction. She didn't even understand what the person was asking. It didn't make any sense to her, which it shouldn't. All of us, sure, bring it back next time. You've been through a care plan, no problem. Let's go let you walk out the door with a leather jacket. And that's disturbing about our culture, that we would be okay with that. But to Norma Jean, that was insanity. So she goes, and to me at the time, like, oh God, I cringe. She goes, "Why don't you go home right now and get your checkbook, come in and pay for the service, and then you would receive the service. How about that?" Like that, and to her, it was perfectly logical. Why don't you pay for the leather jacket, and then you can walk out the door with the leather jacket? Let's do it that way. And to my surprise, that person came back 15 minutes later and paid their $1,850. And so that was lesson number one I got. And to her, she was just and this is for the team again, and probably for a lot of doctors, it just cost, if you want the leather jacket, it costs $9,000. I mean, you look at the tag. So to her, it wasn't a big deal that it was $9,000. It's like, you wanted the jacket, it's $9,000. And I had never applied that thinking to chiropractic. If you're here for chiropractic, I'm not emotionally engaged or attached to the cost. That's just what it costs. And for a team member, I know for a lot of you, you will put in your physiology, you'll put in there an attachment to a price. Norma Jean didn't attach herself to the price because it just cost what it costs. So she didn't cringe when you put a $9,000 dress on her desk at the cash register, that's just what it cost. She didn't set the price. It's just the sort of inherent value to that dress in the marketplace. That's just the benchmark cost for that brand of that dress. She doesn't set that price. It just is what it is. So when she heard that the benchmark for a maintenance plan is $1,850 for an adjustment once a week for a year, all right, that's what it costs. She didn't internalize it. It's just what it costs. So a big part to all of this for doctors and staff is that it's just the fee. You know, it's not something to internalize or worry or wonder, oh my gosh, what are they going to think about the fact that they came to the Ford dealership and wanted the F-150? It costs 50 grand. I mean, that's just the salesman's not freaking out. You know, it's just, that's what we sell these for. You know, why would we, when we have a $70 adjustment, be like, oh God, I wonder what they're going to think about the cost of our adjustment? That's just the cost. And that's what Norma Jean shared with me. And since that's just the cost of a product we're selling, we also would expect that they would pay for it and that nobody would get it for free and walk out the door with it, because whether you were in the restaurant industry or the retail industry or the automotive industry, that would be called stealing when they walked out the door with your product and had not paid for it. So why would us as a doctor or team member go, sure, receive your adjustment and walk out the door, you know, and not have paid for it? It doesn't make any sense, but it's a problem in our culture. It's a disturbing issue within our culture that doesn't exist anywhere else outside of chiropractic. I mean, I ran a gym. If your membership was up on December 25th, when you walked in December 26th, you paid for the year again. You didn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. Well, hey, I know it's December 26th. It's the holidays. Grab your free adjustment. Walk out the door. Pay us next time. You know, that would never happen. You know, you in fact, it just rolls right into it. If you show up again, guess what you got? Another 12-month membership is what you got. If you worked out December 26th, you now are the official owner of a 12-month membership that ends next December 25th. You know, that just rolled over immediately, and guess what? You were locked in for another year with no way out other than death or you know, a shattered spine or something.